Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going inside the review request protocol that actually works. Let's face it, we've all gotten those review requests, right? The ones that feel totally automated.
Oh yeah, delete immediately.
Exactly. And they usually just, well, get ignored or deleted.
Yeah.
So what we're going to explore today is how to move past that impersonal stuff. We want to build a system that actually encourages genuine, good reviews by tapping into what makes your customers want to share their experience.
Right. It's about creating the desire, not just sending a link.
Our mission here is to give you a really clear, actionable roadmap, something you can use to get the kind of feedback that truly helps your business.
Absolutely. Because these days, online reviews, they're huge. They're way more than just stars on a page. They build trust. They drive decisions for new customers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scattergun approach, it just doesn't cut it anymore.
It doesn't work.
We need to be, smarter, more strategic. We need to really understand the psychology of it, what makes someone actually take the time.
Okay, so let's start there, the psychology. You mentioned something called the reciprocity window. What exactly is that?
Yeah, it's a really key idea. It comes from, basic human interaction, social exchange. Basically, the reciprocity window is that sweet spot, that time period when a customer feels a natural urge to give back. It happens right after they've had a really positive experience with you.
Ah, okay, so they feel good about you. They want to do something nice in return.
Precisely. They feel genuinely grateful, so they're much more open to doing something for you, like leaving that review. And this feeling, it's driven by a few key things.
Like what? What are those drivers?
Well, first, you've got what we call peak satisfaction moments. Think about those times when a customer is just genuinely thrilled. Maybe your product blew them away, or your team solved a tricky problem brilliantly.
Right, those wow moments.
Exactly. Then there's emotional connection. That's huge.
Well.
When your team actually builds real rapport, a human connection that creates loyalty, it makes people want to support you.
Makes sense.
Then value recognition. This is when the customer really gets the benefit they receive. They see the value clearly.
They understand why it was good for them specifically.
Yes. And finally, never underestimate problem resolution. Turn a problem around, fix it well, maybe even better than they expected. You can create some of your strongest advocates right there.
That's so true. I've definitely felt that myself. When a company fixes a problem really well, I'm often more impressed than if nothing had gone wrong. So how do we actually spot these peak satisfaction moments consistently? You mentioned a satisfaction tracking sheet. Is that practical?
It can be, yeah, or something like it. The core idea is just to get your team actively looking for and, importantly, noting down those times when customers express real happiness or gratitude. It could be a shared doc, maybe notes in your CRM system.
What's a CRM again, just quickly?
Oh, sorry. Customer Relationship Management System. Basically, software to help you manage and track all your interactions with customers.
Got it.
Or it could even just be a team habit, Jotting down positive feedback after a call or interaction. The key is tracking it somehow. Because when you track it, you start seeing patterns. You see what really delights your customers.
Okay, interesting. So it's about training ourselves and our teams to be more tuned in. You also talked about timing sensitivity. That sounds crucial.
Oh, it's absolutely critical. All the research backs this up. There's a really strong link between when you ask for that review and, two things. Whether you get one at all and how good it is.
Right. And the data you shared was pretty stark. Asking during that peak satisfaction moment.
Yeah.
Was it a 35% response rate?
Yeah, around 35%. And the reviews tend to be much more detailed, averaging about 120 words.
But if you wait just a week,
it plummets down to maybe 5% response rate, and the reviews get way shorter, like 45 words on average. It's a massive difference.
Wow. That really drives home the point. You have to strike while the iron is hot, as they say.
You really do. The further away they get from that positive feeling, the fizzier the details become in their mind. And honestly, the less motivated they are to bother writing something detailed. Closer to the peak moment is always better.
Okay. We get the why, the psychology, the timing. So how do we actually find these golden moments in our specific business? What's the practical process?
Right, let's get practical. It's basically a 3-step process. Step 1 is crucial. You need to thoroughly map out your customer journey. And I mean thoroughly. Think about every single interaction, every touch point, from the very first time they hear about you all the way through to, long after the sale.
So like from seeing an ad, visiting the website, talking to sales, the actual purchase, using the product, any support calls, follow-up emails, everything.
Everything. Map it all out. Identify those key interaction points, the moments of service delivery, any places where problems might get solved, even just natural conversation points, and definitely any follow-ups. Once you have that map, here's a really useful exercise. Rate each touch point, maybe on a scale of 1 to 5, based on its potential for creating a strong emotional impact, positive or negative.
Okay. So you can visually see where the high-impact moments are likely to be. That makes sense. What's step 2?
Step 2 is training your team to recognize the review-ready signals. These are the clues, the indicators that a customer is feeling really positive and might be open to a request. It could be really obvious, like someone saying, "Wow, thank you so much, this was fantastic."
Yeah, can't miss that one.
Right. Or it could be more subtle. Positive comments about specific things they liked, even just someone who's unusually chatty and friendly. And definitely watch for things like asking about other services you offer or the gold standard referring someone else to you.
Absolutely. If they're already telling their friends, they're definitely happy. Okay. And the third step?
Step 3 is simply to document those peak moments. You need a system, whatever works for your team, to actually record when these moments of high satisfaction happen. We talked about examples before, right? Like for a restaurant, maybe it's right after someone raves about the dessert.
Or retail, after you help them find the perfect outfit and they're thrilled.
Exactly. Healthcare, after good news about treatment. Services, when a project is successfully wrapped up. Hospitality, maybe at checkout after they got that surprise upgrade they loved. You need to figure out what these moments look like specifically for your business and your customer interactions.
Okay, great. So we figured out when to ask. Now, the million-dollar question, how do we ask? What makes for a perfect request?
Right. This is where we need what I call the 3-component framework. To make a review request really effective, really hit the mark, it ideally needs these 3 things.
All right, lay them on us. Component number 1.
Component 1 is a personal connection reference. It's all about making it feel, well, personal, not like a generic blast. So try to mention a specific thing from your interaction with them. Reference something unique about their experience, or maybe a preference they shared.
Okay, so instead of dear customer, it's like, hey, John, glad we found that specific widget you were looking for.
Exactly. It shows you remember them as an individual. It immediately feels different, less transactional. So what's number 2?
Number 2 is the value reminder. Here, you gently remind them of the specific benefit they got from you.
Reference the positive outcome they experienced. Emphasize the personal impact your business had for them.
Gotcha. So not just hope you liked it, but more like, glad we could help you get that presentation finished on time.
Yes, precisely.
Oh.
Connect it back to their success or relief. And the 3rd component.
The 3rd component is the community impact statement. This is where you explain how their feedback actually helps other people.
Connect their review to a bigger purpose. Emphasize how their insights can guide other potential customers making similar decisions.
That's clever. It taps into that desire most people have to be helpful, right? To contribute something useful.
Exactly. It gives them another reason beyond just liking you to share their thoughts.
You had some sample scripts before. Could you maybe walk through 1 or 2 again just to see how those 3 parts fit together?
Sure. Let's take the restaurant example again. You might say something like, "Hi, Sarah. I was so glad you enjoyed the herb-crusted salmon last night. Your thoughts on it could really help other food lovers decide what to try. Would you mind sharing your experience in a quick review?"
Okay, I see it. You've got the specific dish, that's the personal connection, helping other food lovers, community impact, and the implied enjoyment, the value reminder.
Nice.
Exactly. Or for healthcare. Mr. Jones, we're so pleased the treatment helped resolve your back pain. Your feedback could be incredibly valuable for others looking for solutions to similar issues. Would you consider sharing your experience online?
Perfect. Specific outcome value, helping others' community. And it feels personal because you're referencing his pain relief. That's the goal, weaving them together naturally.
This framework makes a lot of sense. But putting it all into practice consistently, that seems like it needs some solid systems behind it. What do businesses need?
You're absolutely right. It requires robust implementation systems. And there are really 2 main pillars to this: solid staff training and smart use of technology.
Okay, let's break down staff training first. What does that need to cover?
3 main things here. First, awareness training. The team needs to really understand the why, the psychology, recognizing those satisfaction signals, the importance of timing, building their emotional intelligence as part of this too.
So they can connect better with customers.
Yes. Second, request practice. Don't just tell them what to do, let them practice. Role-playing different scenarios, learning how to customize scripts naturally, even handling moments where a customer might hesitate.
Makes sense. Practice builds confidence.
Definitely. And third, clear documentation systems. How do they track interactions? How do they note down those peak moments? How do we see if the requests are working? Everyone needs to be on the same page with the process.
Right. So it's understanding, skills, and process. What about the technology side? How can tech help?
Tech can be a massive help in making this scalable and efficient. A good CRM system, as we mentioned, is key for tracking interactions and spotting patterns. Then there are dedicated review monitoring platforms, makes it easy to see all your reviews in one place.
Okay.
Follow-up automation systems can handle those timed reminders we'll talk about. A performance analytics dashboard helps you track your KPIs, see what's working, and various customer feedback tools can gather insights beyond just formal reviews.
So it's people and tech working hand in hand. Now, you just mentioned follow-ups. You had a 3-touch system for that. Can you explain that?
Yes, because even with the best initial request, sometimes people just need a gentle nudge. A good follow-up strategy can really boost results. The 3-touch system is a simple way to structure it. Touch 1 is that initial request itself, ideally in person right at the peak moment. Keep it personal, specific, clear, simple instructions.
Got it. The main ask. Touch 2.
Touch 2 is the first follow-up. Usually email works well here. Send it within 24 hours of that initial conversation. In it, you want to thank them again, specifically mention their positive experience one more time, and crucially, provide a direct link to your preferred review site. Make it super easy for them.
Click and go. Makes sense. And the final touch.
Touch 3 is a final, gentle reminder. Send this maybe 48 to 72 hours after the second touch, so a couple of days later. Keep it short and sweet. Express appreciation again, reinforce why their feedback matters, maybe that community impact piece, and provide that direct link one last time.
Okay, initial ask, 24-hour follow-up with link, then a final reminder a couple of days later, also with the link. You had some templates for those follow-ups too.
Yeah, simple ones. For that first follow-up email. Hi, customer name. It was great helping you with specific interaction detail yesterday. Like I mentioned, your feedback really helps others looking for benefit solution. Here's a direct link if you have a moment to share. Link.
Nice and clear. And the final one.
Even shorter. Hi, customer name. Just a quick follow-up regarding your experience with your business. Your insights are so valuable to others considering us. If you have a moment, here's that link again. Link.
Great. Simple, polite, helpful. Now, with all this effort going in, how do we actually track if it's working? What are the key metrics, the KPIs?
Measurement is crucial. You need to track your key performance indicators, or KPIs. Definitely watch your request response rate, what percentage of asks turn into actual reviews. Also your average review rating, obviously. But don't stop there. Look at the review length in detail. Are you getting richer feedback?
Good point. Quality matters too.
Absolutely. Also, track staff participation rate. Is the team actually doing it consistently? And keep an eye on your overall customer satisfaction scores, like NPS or CSA, to see the bigger picture.
Okay, so response rate, rating, length details, staff adoption, and overall satisfaction. And what do we do with that data?
That feeds right into your optimization framework. I suggest a monthly review cycle. Look at the numbers, what's working, where are the best reviews coming from, which staff members are excelling. Identify those successful patterns and try to replicate them. Maybe you need to tweak your scripts a bit or adjust the timing based on what you're seeing.
So it's iterative.
Constantly retrain staff if needed. Update your tech setup if something's not working smoothly. It's all about continuous improvement based on real data.
Right, not just set it and forget it. Okay, this sounds really comprehensive. For someone listening now, maybe feeling excited, but also a bit, whoa, where do I start? What's a good action plan?
Let's break it down. Immediate actions, like in the next 24 hours. Start sketching out that customer journey map. Brainstorm those potential peak moments for your business, and maybe draft 1 or 2 initial request scripts using that 3-component framework. Just get something down.
Okay, doable first steps. Then what?
Week 1. Train maybe a small core team. Just get them familiar with the basics. Set up a super simple tracking system. Even a spreadsheet works to start. And begin consciously documenting customer interactions and any positive signals you notice.
Baby steps. Get the ball rolling.
Exactly. First month. Try to roll out the full protocol with the trained team. Monitor the results daily at first. Be ready to adjust quickly based on what you see and hear. And definitely get feedback from your team, what's working for them, what's tricky.
Learning and adapting. And then long-term.
Ongoing. Stick to that monthly performance review. Do maybe quarterly strategy updates to refine things. Keep training fresh, especially for new hires. And always look for ways to optimize the systems you're using.
That makes it feel much more manageable, like building it piece by piece. Finally, any system like this will hit bumps. What are some common challenges people face, and how can they tackle them?
Good question. You might run into staff resistance, another thing to do. An incentive program tied to successful review generation can often help motivate the team.
Okay, rewarding success. What else?
Timing issues. It can be hard sometimes to catch that exact peak moment. Using triggers in your CRM, if you have one, based on certain actions like a completed service ticket, can help automate requests at logical times.
Using tech to help with timing. Smart.
If you see low response rates, really scrutinize your request scripts. Are they personal enough? Is the value clear? Is the community impact compelling? Keep refining them.
Always back to the messaging.
Often, yes. Inconsistent quality in how requests are made usually means more training or practice is needed. Reinforce the why and the how. And if you hit technical difficulties with your tracking or follow-up tools, try to simplify the process. Don't let tech become a barrier. Ensure there's support available.
Great practical solutions there. This has been incredibly useful. It really hammers home that getting good reviews isn't luck. It's a system.
It really is. It's about understanding people, respecting their time, being strategic about when you ask, and making the request feel authentic and personal. Ultimately, this isn't just about boosting your start rating. It's about building stronger connections with your customers and getting feedback that genuinely helps you improve.
So for everyone listening, the challenge now is to take those immediate actions. Start mapping that journey, identifying those moments, drafting those requests. Begin building your own protocol. And maybe leave you with this thought. Think about how these consistent, personalized feedback loops could change things. Not just your online reputation, but your deeper understanding of what your customers truly need and how you can serve them better. It goes way beyond just the stars.